All right, Tom, let's get into the Cowboys Report. We've got preview coming up with the Cowboys Raiders, but we're going to start first with the Ring of Honor, the top Cowboys of the 2017 season. We count them down 10-1. We start here at number 10 with offensive tackle, left tackle, Tyron Smith.
Smith wasn't great to start the year, and you can kind of tell. I don't think he's still 100%. He's kind of battled that back injury, but he is so much better than the Chaz Green, Byron Bell combo the Cowboys had to throw out at one point this year. And he's been better, I think, since he came back from that injury.
I think we've seen it the last couple of weeks. Offensive line is starting to get a little bit more healthy, a little bit back toward their cohesion. Tyron Smith is a big part of that. As we move on here in the Ring of Honor, number 9, Hall of Famer himself, Jason Witten. Another touchdown pass last week because the Giants love to give up touchdowns to their tight ends, right, Tom?
Back-to-back weeks that Jason Witten has had one catch and it's gone for a TD.
Yeah.
So that's effectiveness, right? I love this route. Like, this isn't that great of a route.
You know,
it's just kind of like a simple angle route.
We think that video is in slow motion. I'm not sure
really
if it really was.
I don't know what Jason Witten does. I kind of think he's got like some kind of magical buffer around him that prevents defenders from getting too close.
Oh, good call. He might.
Yeah,
maybe he's got like one of those bubble suits.
The invisible bubble suit. I like it.
Because
he's always open somehow, despite... Look, Jason Witten is not a great athlete anymore. Like, he is not that fast, but he always finds a way to get open when the Cowboys need him to.
Loving the comments flowing in already here on the Cowboys Report. Let's go to number 8 on the Ring of Honor, the top Cowboys of the 2017 season. Dez Bryant, touchdown last week, Tom. Needed it, too.
2 drops that had me really concerned.
Oh, my God. I mean, I was about to throw Dez off this list because of those drops in the first quarter.
Had he not bounced back, I think he would have fallen off. But, look, this is what Dez should have done. That's like a 5th-string corner he's beaten. Like, the Giants are banged up a corner. Dez Bryant ended up having a good game. The drops do concern me, but 3 catches, 73 yards, and a score. Had he caught those 2 passes, I think he would have gotten to that 100-yard mark that I kind of thought he was going to finally break. Instead, Rod Smith does it.
And had he not caught a 50-yarder, he wouldn't have even been close.
So in the end, about right, I guess? Is that where we're at?
Ruth chiming in saying, love our Cowboys, watching from Idaho. Love to have you here, Ruth. I'm sure it's a little cold up there. It's a little chilly down here in Dallas, too. At number 7 on the Ring of Honor this week, sticking there at number 7 is Dak Prescott. Good game, good bounce back the last 2 weeks out of Dak to get things rolling back in the right direction as the Cowboys start getting closer to having Ezekiel Elliott back on the field.
The Dak haters will say, oh, he only had a good game because he had a bunch of yards after catch. Well, that's the case for a lot of quarterbacks. And the Cowboys, frankly, haven't had a bunch of yards after catch here. That play was unbelievable. I still don't know how he was able to do it. And then the Rod Smith touchdown I was super impressed by because he got the safety to move away with his eyes, and that's something a veteran quarterback does there. So I was very impressed by Dak Prescott, and frankly, Brett, the Cowboys needed that game from Dak.
They needed it from Dak, and the quarterback there is a big deal. And the fact that Dak has come back these last 2 weeks, albeit against inferior competition in the Giants, there obviously a lot of injuries have really decimated that team this year. But Dak's got to do that against a team like that in a game that you're supposed to win, needed to win, and they did get it done, even though it was a little scary for a little bit.
He was great under pressure against the Giants. 5 of 8 for 91 yards and a score when he was pressured, and 3 of those incompletions, Brett, 2 of them were drops.
Yep.
So he was great under pressure there. I was very impressed by the way that Dak played.
We're going through with our Ring of Honor, the top Cowboys of the 2017 season. At number 6 is center Travis Frederick.
He's Travis Frederick. I mean, I don't really know how else to describe it.
Is he going to be a Pro Bowler this year, Tom?
I don't know. I think he should be, or at the very least be a Pro Bowl alternate. He will not be All-Pro, which is fine because I don't think he's quite had one of the 2 best years. But Pro Bowl, yeah, because frankly, it's the Pro Bowl. Almost everyone gets in. Trevor Siemian got an invite last year. All right, that's how little the Pro Bowl actually matters these days.
He had an okay season for half the season.
Okay, fine.
Number 5, Zack Martin. We stick on the offensive line. Number 2 offensive guard this year, as graded out by Pro Football Focus.
He's been the most impressive lineman this year for the Dallas Cowboys. He is going to be their top priority in the offseason.
You know, and when you think about it, Zack Martin's injury on the offensive line actually might have been more impactful than Tyron Smith for that one game. Yeah.
But Martin healthy, he is going to be, I think, a focal point of the Cowboys offensive line along with Smith and along with Frederick. And frankly, Leo Collins, who we will talk more about later on in the show. Hint, hint.
Terrence Mackey Jr. saying North Carolina in the house. North Carolina, come on and raise up. Yeah, you don't even know what that reference is to, Tom. That's too bad. Petey Pablo in the house. Number 4, Ezekiel Elliott on our Ring of Honor. Okay, the Cowboys are now 2-3 without Zeke. Can get to 3-3 this week.
That's
and maybe
that's
what you best could have hoped for?
3-3 without Zeke, I think, is frankly the best case scenario.
I do remember somebody here saying they could go 6-0.
Yeah, or even 5-1 was said. But
yeah, that was
somebody on this show, Brett.
That was me.
I'm still.
But that didn't take into account Tyron Smith and Sean Lee being hurt for 3 games.
That's okay.
Two
That's
games.
fair. That's fair, I guess. When it comes to Zeke himself, Alfred Morris has been effective. Rod Smith has made some nice plays, but they're not Zeke. It's just a different offense without Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm excited to have him back on the field for those last 2 games, which the Cowboys are going to need him out there and need him playing great. He remains at 4 on the Ring of Honor because my mindset is we're going to keep Sean Lee high, even though he missed a bunch of time. We got to keep Zeke on there as well for being suspended.
Yep, he'll be back against Seattle in Week 16. Could be a playoff elimination game. Kevin chiming in from Las Vegas. What up on the Strip? Kevin, at number 3.
This is why they call it America's team.
At number 3 on the Ring of Honor, the top Cowboys of the 2017 season is David Irving.
So I think that with David Irving, I missed him last week. It was okay because the Giants' offensive line is not that good. I will also never stop enjoying this hit he put on Kirk Cousins.
Oh, man, that was a lovely
when he
hit.
Basically killed him on air. Like, good, clean shoulder into the chest area. Great hit there from David Irving. He's been super effective this year. Look, he didn't play Week 14. He still got 7 sacks despite missing 5 games this year. That's unbelievably efficient.
We talk about the concussions, and then you see Kirk Cousins in that play duck his head a little bit, and Irving got him with the shoulder in the shoulder. But Kirk's got to keep, if you don't want a concussion, keep your head on.
I mean, look, I think unfortunately with the NFL, the players don't do the best job of protecting themselves. They drop their heads for when they're going to hit, too. They always lower their head, which is how, unfortunately, really bad injuries happen. And then you got players dropping their heads to try and avoid contact, but that actually just lowers their targeting box.
We're going to keep chiming in from all across America for America's team. Mitchell Jones in from South Carolina, home of Chat Sports' own Brian. At number 2 on the Ring of Honor is Sean Lee, and man, it was good to see him back. The Cowboys, stats people, however they do it internally, credited him with over 20 tackles.
Which I know that it's the Cowboys' internal stat group. I think they cheat. Like, they do this every time with Sean Lee. Sean Lee gets like 5 extra tackles, and I'm like, I don't know if that's actually the case.
Well, the official stats didn't credit him with 20 tackles.
Yeah, they gave him with 18, which is still absurd.
Holy cow, all over the field, plus the interception, a tackle for loss.
He had a pass breakup as well. Look, Sean Lee was fantastic in coverage, too. Look, he did allow 7 catches. None of them went for more than 6 yards, which tells you, they're doing
all
the check down
underneath
right there,
stuff.
which is exactly what they're asking out of Sean Lee. I know that maybe he doesn't get the hype nationally that a Luke Kuechly does. I don't think Sean Lee's that far behind as an actual player from a talent perspective. Because injuries plays a role there, but Sean Lee is one of the best linebackers in the NFL. I know he's been hurt. He should be getting all-pro consideration.
Look, I mean, we could talk about Sean Lee as being the most valuable player of this league because he is the most important player on the Cowboys defense, and he is worth possibly 20 points a game by himself.
Dude,
that's ridiculous.
He's got 70 tackles in like half a game this year, or in like half the season.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
In half the game, basically.
Which it feels like that, though.
Sylvia is here in Texas with us in Mission, Texas, and we go to number 1 on the Ring of Honor. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't have a sack last week, though, Tom.
No, but he had a lot of hurries, and sometimes a hurry is just as effective as a sack, even though it doesn't quite result in the loss of yards or the stat sheet. But he had 6 hurries last week against the Giants. I'll take 6 hurries every week, even though I think that it's not going to be great for the stat sheet. When you're getting consistent pressure like that and forcing the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands faster, that's great. So I was impressed again by DeMarcus Lawrence. He is going to be a very important piece of this Cowboys defense next year if they can bring him back. Remember, DeMarcus Lawrence, an unrestricted free agent, David Irving, a restricted free agent, which I think the Cowboys can bring both back, but the money is going to be a big factor there for the Cowboys.
Tom, let me ask you this question. I had this thought.
I'm concerned.
Do they get any money back from the Ezekiel Elliott suspension as it relates to the cap?
No, they do not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They don't.
That was maybe a pipe dream
and
type
frankly,
of question.
Even if they did it, it's actually not that much money because he's not making a ton of money as a rookie. He's making a decent amount of money. The good news is for the Cowboys going forward in the offseason is they get some of the Tony Romo money back. They do have some more cap space coming forward, so they can afford Tank, but it's going to be mostly an internal offseason, not so much they go out and sign a big high-priced guy.